that we're starting to record. What is this?
This is my Spotify Wrapped.
I can't see that. It's so blurry.
It literally says we don't have a Wrapped for you this year.
Someone posted something like Spotify Wrap is so weak this year. They didn't tell me that my music was good for like a blue house on the hill and like
Jasmine. No. You want to hear the craziest part about this whole thing that
probably
some people
not
are talking about? You'll hate every second of it. I promise you.
What happened?
They made an AI podcast of your thing.
Hello and welcome.
We're visiting from Google's Notebook LM.
It's mine.
Here
It's
to
just for
unwrap
me.
your
And then Jordan will have his
2024
own.
Spotify
You have
Wrapped.
yours.
Get ready for a deep dive into your year in music.
First off, let me just say, wow, 22,084 minutes of music.
You were really living life to a soundtrack. That puts
Who
you
are
in
these
the top
people?
60
And why do I care about
AI.
globally.
You know what else?
What?
April 24th must have been quite the day.
Yeah.
375 minutes of music.
Like an entire festival.
But what I don't like is it's two people judging me. Like it's not like one AI person that's like, hey Adam, thank you so much for participating. Like, here's your Spotify playlist. I see you really
Right.
like Ariana Grande. You know, that's one thing.
That's what they do. It goes further and it keeps going and keeps going. And then it's like, oh, like at this point in August, you really were big into this and like something
Right,
happened.
but why is it two people talking about me like I'm
podcast.
not there?
It's a podcast. It's as if like, say like Juju was doing something, right?
Oh no.
And like say we have a podcast and we're like, oh, we saw, Juju do this or blah, blah, blah. Hey, how about this? And then in August he did this. It's two people talking about you and your music that you've listened to, which by the way, everybody's top 5 has Drake on it somewhere.
Mine doesn't.
No, I don't even.
So how I feel about that is, does this mean what we're doing right now is about to become obsolete? They're really about to start having AI do it? Like what?
Not if that's the version. Absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Think about it, Jasmine. Think about it this way, right? Say
Think about it.
you're writing a novel, like a romance novel, like the books you
I
normally
am
read, right?
currently writing a romance novel.
I know you are, but I'm just saying, say you do that, right? You can pay an AI thing to make a podcast weekly about your book, and they go chapter by chapter every week, and it's one less thing you have to do, but it's another piece of content that goes out. There you go, skin itchy.
It's because it's like I can see the benefits of it, but I don't want to just do that. I don't think an AI yet can do my mannerisms. I'm literally like, this is my thing. Like, I think that if there's ever a skit of SNL, this would be them. You know, like everyone. This is. I don't know why this is my gesture of.
Well,
Yeah,
it very much
take
reminds me
away.
of the old, the one woman that was there forever, and they did the muffin. Remember? Oh yeah, I love a warm muffin. I love.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
I made an
absolutely.
SNL reference. I don't watch SNL. Like
I know you don't. You don't watch television unless it's anime or like something comic booky. Even though there's a fantastic show, I think you would absolutely love because it's insane.
Yeah, Don.
No, it's woman powered. You would love it.
Jordan, I'm gonna need your help here.
It's also military.
No.
So no.
Sorry,
I tried.
No.
I thought he was actually like leading in a good transition, and then he just gave up. I don't know what they. Like,
Was it not? Were you not leading us into Creature Commandos?
No, I was definitely not doing that. Which technically the last 2 episodes were woman forward.
Wait, you really weren't?
No,
I can't stand you.
I was actually going to talk about Linus, but another day, another time.
I've seen a lot of people talking about
It's
the Zoe
phenomenal.
Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
I saw the trailer for it, and it wasn't.
Jared and I are obsessed.
If
I
Jared's
cannot believe that you literally had a layup just now, and you just.
No, I knew where it was going, but instead of like the alley oop, I wanted to take it, go underneath. Yeah, I wanted to.
But you didn't though. You weren't even. You were doing alley oops on the half court line to the audience.
You were like,
you weren't even going in the direction of the basket.
Sports references as if you watch sports. Anyways, you're like, that's a lie. That's a lie. I have. What's the volleyball or what's the one show you watch, Jordan? The anime?
Haikyuu.
Blue Lock.
Yeah, Blue Lock.
Soccer.
Fuck Blue Lock. Blue Lock is the worst. And we're not even talking about what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, why are you doing this? Like
Anyway.
we've had the chance to lead it in, and you just keep.
We keep Creature Commandos episode 1 and 2. Just hopping on this subject, how familiar are you guys with James Gunn's universe, and I guess everything that he's bringing from the past into this new universe? How familiar are you guys with it?
Very.
Okay.
So
I thought that was going to listen to a conversation, Adam.
No, I left it alone because I'm being yelled at. I'm about to go in the corner. Hey, Mom. Thanks.
So for me, because Adam probably actually for real knows a lot. For me, it is interesting. James Gunn's got this knack for taking a group of people I have never heard about before and making me pretty interested. So I didn't hear even anything about Creature Commandos. I do know like he said that this would be first in the new DCU, and I was very much like, sounds interesting, but you know what? You've done it with Guardians before.
Right.
You
he kind of does team ups really well, like a quirky group of misfits coming together. That's kind of his thing.
And if we're being honest, DC animated typically hits, so I was like, okay, this seems like a good opportunity. So
this is his first DC animated. Has he done animated projects before?
I think he did a Guardian animated thing, but I can't remember.
The Christmas special, his the
live action
episode.
But I think there was something animated they did with Disney Plus. I can't remember. Anyways, he's literally the Hans Zimmer of Fast and the Furious soundtracks, but for like anything comic book related. He takes any project he works on, the most obscure music that you were like, oh my God, I did hear that once in like McDonald's commercial or something. And then it's like popular as hell. Like that one band that's been on there, right? Like that played in the beginning and the end of it.
Yeah, the weird. I thought that David Arbor was singing. I thought that was David Arbor singing at the beginning.
Although the beginning sound, the beginning song is from something else, and he's changed it a little bit. And I had it, and I can't remember. We'll get back to it. I'll remember it. In a second. Keep going.
Fair enough. Even going before that, I don't know. That was the first time I had ever seen the new DC logo. I know that they had dropped it during the Christopher Reeve show, and they dropped it during Comic-Con. But to see going from that Fleshman, what the heck is his name? The Flesher Superman into the new DC Bullet. I thought that was so cool. Especially having James Gunn signify like this is the new DC, but we're also paying homage to the old DC. Like this man is just so cool.
It's kind of like taking the logo that was once there, but doing it over again and saying we're going back to basics. And the other thing he's really good at is selling unchild things to everybody.
I'm gonna need you to repeat that again in a way that I understand.
So what he does, right?
Because as a child, I don't understand the phrase that you just said.
So James will take a project like Jordan was nice enough to say and basically sit there and go, hey, I want to do something on this. And they're like, there's dust all over that. I don't even see the cover. And he's like, I'll trust me. And then he makes Guardians, right? Then he takes Creature Commandos. Very first thing he does, other than Suicide Squad, obviously, and stuff. But like he takes this, right? And he's like, I want to do this, which Suicide Squad is another great one, but he went even more obscure. And then he made an animated thing, which everyone's like, oh, cool. They're going to start out this and like sell it to children because it's a animated thing and try to build up the audience again. Nope. That was a unchild 45, 50 minutes of nonsense that is what they lean into as a company. And understand, Marvel can have that children nonsense, whatever. DC has always been DC. It's always
DC's been raw. It's been like what is the freaking Invincible with that same genre? It's like we're superheroes in playing with ants. Humans are ants to us. Humans are playthings. They're fodder. And we are superheroes in that, and we'll make a mess. Like we're making messes. But what I really appreciate going off of like the why Creature Commandos, because I think both of you have mentioned at this point of like it's curious that he started with Creature Commandos. I like that he started off with a bunch of outcasts and misfits and irregulars and monsters, essentially, because the whole idea of the Creature Commandos is we don't belong in traditional society and we're not heroes. It's beyond Suicide Squad where these are just bad mental patients, essentially. These are people who, on either side, they're not human enough for the humans. They're not monster, especially in Dr. Masurtsky's case. She's not monster enough for the monster. She's just a woman with gills. So I think going off of the past DC, like even starting in this new age, we're starting with outcasts. And I thought that was such a cute, what, Adam, you look like you got something you want to say.
No, I did. I want about the doctor. She reminds me, what was the romance movie with the
freaking the fish, Shape of Water.
Yeah. Shape of Water. Every time I see her though, I can only think of Shape of Water. That's
because I've got two boys on, and I know both of you are married, significant, have there is a big trend going online, or at least when the trailer dropped for Dr. Metsursky, where people were thirsting, and it's funny that we say thirsting because she's fish, but they were literally making thirst traps because they thought that her design was so sexy. Did you guys feel that at all? Did you feel like she was overtly like hot or sexualized from the trailers and the scenes you saw?
So I missed the people were thirsting on her design, which that is very funny. I missed that. What's really funny, because if you know like Lady Demestra or whatever from Resident Evil, I would have thought more people would have been thirsting over Bride, like the whole like strong woman knock me around.
She literally picked her up and was like, my ribs.
She was carrying her like a football.
Yeah.
But no, I can't say that I really felt that with her. But again, back to the unchildlike things, and we're gonna just keep using that phrase. And I definitely would love to hear what you have to say about this, Jasmine. Obviously, you definitely have more of James played with the little jokes about wokeness and women. And so do you feel like this is made kind of with like the female gaze in mind? Because I feel like it's definitely a little bit more female gaze. I feel like it's a little more female gazy, like even with Rick Flag Sr. and that little tension.
Female gaze, bruv. This is such a hard question because I wrestled with this because I did my review beforehand, and I don't know whose view it is. It feels very split view. I feel like both the male gaze and the female gaze. But for me, like even the big thing for me, obviously, is the big change they made between Eric Frankenstein and Lady Frankenstein's backstory. Because obviously,
wasn't ready for that.
Oh my God, I wasn't ready for it. But I mean, that's every time I do research on these new shows, I'm like, here's all the files of all the comic book knowledge, and James Gunn goes, okay, great, we're just gonna not use any of that. If you could just like throw all that away. And like, so here's my thing, because my big point in my review was, did Victor Frankenstein groom his mistress? Did he really just, because it wasn't love to me. Like it was so that's not a female gaze. If it is, that's some real Twilight behavior right now. Like that's real, like you creating your own.
Yeah, that's wild.
But you don't think about that because all you see is like, oh, Frankenstein is, or Eric Frankenstein's a monster. He's not letting her. But like that moment where he was like, she only knows fear and like when a baby comes out, they know their mother. So for him to be the first person to talk to her and acknowledge her and then sleep with her, the amount of time later, that's your child. That is your child.
Yeah, that
you
was
have been teaching how to read and then you fuck. What? That's not if that's the female gaze, I don't want it.
By the way, anyone just roll it back the top. We just talking. So if you hadn't watched the episode, I don't know why you would be watching this video, because we not really doing this isn't for you if you haven't watched it.
We're not doing spoilers. We talking.
Yeah, we talking the talk. You've had time. Let it go.
They've had 9 hours.
They've had 9 hours.
By the time they see this, they'll have had time. But yes, that's one thing that did catch me too as well. I was kind of like, when I saw how she was kind of getting close to them, I was like, but that's your parent. Like the whole thing is he's Frankenstein's father, so why would he not be considered her father? And then when they ended up, I knew where it was going. I was like,
George, you know what this is? You know what this is? This is when, like, when you're boys, right? And you haven't had a girl in forever, like to date or anything like that or whatever, right? And then all of a sudden your boy's like, hey, I got somebody for you. And then it was just like, oh yeah, cool. And then like she don't like you because you're sitting there ridiculously like pushing the love thing against her, and then she ends up liking your boy instead. That's what that is.
Oh, I thought that
You
was
turned that all the way around.
I thought you were talking about Victor in the beginning.
No.
That's not where I thought you were going. But no, you're right. Because you're right. That
Right?
that
Like
one
you're like,
very much
I got something for you. I got something for you. And then you're like, cool. And then she likes
He's
you.
like, man, I didn't know that she was feeling me, man. But like, you cool, right?
I think there's a Fresh Prince episode that does that. Not gonna lie.
Of course, that's so like, and I hate to say it, but I'm halfway allowed. It's the beginning of the month, so we black this month, this part of the month. It feels very like stereotypical of like negative Black culture. Like that feels like something, and I don't know, Adam, if the white side of the universe does that too.
Pronounce that H.
So white. I just want to be respectful to your culture.
Yeah, thank you.
But I feel like, especially like you being like
Your culture is hilarious.
You don't have one. We steal all of them.
Oh my god. But I feel like all of the relationships in this show are outlandish and wild. I think there was even like a romantic or sexual moment between GI Robot and Dr. Masurtsky. I don't know if you guys saw that when they were like, what is that?
Would you kill Nazis with me?
I would love to kill Nazis. I would be a friend.
Yes,
like,
all day.
baby, what are you doing? Like this man, like, is it that bad? Are you that lonely? Because it's not like she's been alone. She was talking with him in the prison. You know, she's had. Go ahead.
Back to the doctor thing. I missed the whole loving over her.
Yeah, I missed that.
I missed that nonsense.
But
if we start getting physical doctor parts like we did for Shape of Water, then I'll understand like it's a real.
We saw her naked in the water.
Yeah, I got that.
We
But,
did.
like, do you not remember Shape of Water? What happened?
The only part of Shape of Water that I recall is the
out of it, a company made things that were sellable, and people bought them.
Why are you being vague? This is our podcast. Just say it. They made Shape of Water.
They made a dildo. Yeah, they made a dildo.
A dildo. Oh, that's different.
It was a fish dough.
I thought they made like a full-on prosthetic.
They just it was a fish dough that looked like a turtle, like one kind of, and it was
crazy.
Like,
I mean, the link. Sorry.
And so if like they start making like Dr. Fleshlights, then yeah, like I get the
like a Dr. Phosphorus, it just glows.
We're giving someone an idea right now. We're gonna see this go viral on Twitter. They're gonna be like, "Guys, look what I made," and we're just gonna be like,
It's this is the real Creature Commandos. All right, they're
creatures. All right,
Creature Commandos. Buy them all. I feel like it's HBO. It's one step away from Skinamax, so why not?
True. That's true. It's being an HBO Max original. I guess it like fully makes sense. But yeah, the show. Another thing that it kind of gave me was like that old school cartoon feeling. Like even with like how
the intro.
Yeah, the intro came in, and I was like, I feel like I'm Saturday morning cartooning right now.
I'm trying to remember the song I was listening to. I was muted and listening to it, and I have it, but I can't. I had the words as soon as I heard it. I was like, bam! It brought me right back to it. Now I can't remember it.
And you're gonna be 4 hours later just washing the dishes, be like, damn it! Have to message us.
No, dishes are all clean. I'll get it, and then I'll send you a video of it later.
Fair. You just.
I'll get it to you later. So
he knows.
Actually, here's where she plugs it in.
There we go. This is gonna be such an easy, clean, just edit and put up.
What did you guys think about, like, since this is the beginning, right? Like Jasmine said, how did we feel about the 2 episodes? They're only 25 minutes each. They're probably going to be same all the way through.
Are you saying the beginning of Creature Commandos or the beginning of the DCU as a whole?
Kind of both, actually, because I think this is like a nice way, a smart way also, where he tied what happened in Peacemaker in there.
Yeah.
He did tie in a little bit of well, not Peacemaker, but tied in Suicide Squad, which had Peacemaker in it, and everything's canon, but obviously what happened at the end with the justice nonsense. I can't talk today.
That's okay.
Justice League.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Like,
because remember they came in at the end. The whole
wasn't it? It was the green guy. Who's the Phantom-y Justice League guy? The
Martian Manhunter.
The Martian, Martian Manhunter. Wasn't he the one that was
Flash and what's her name showed up at the end of.
Oh yeah, they showed up at Peacemaker too.
Yeah, Peacemaker too. So
there was a Superman silhouette and a Wonder Woman silhouette.
I was like, did I miss something?
No,
this was so long ago.
I think it's a nice way to take something, right? Like he did with Guardians and with everything else, and kind of like give you something like vanilla ice cream, right? Here's a brand new vanilla ice cream. You've had it before, but now we're going to add little things to it so that way we can continue building better things rather than something you've already disliked.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't dislike it. I just knew that it was coming to an end. And I will be honest with you. I think knowing Koi Boy had this big opportunity because not that I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, James Gunn, I apologize, don't fire him. But he told me that like damn near the second that he learned about it because he was excited and like the homie and you know,
you're like this person told me don't be mad instead of oh, I heard it through the grapevine, like somebody. Like, you could have just, like, not narked.
What am I going to add that? He's the only person out of the three I talked to. Like,
also, the show's out now. Like, the news is out, you know?
And I didn't, James Gunn, I can keep secrets, just so you know. Like,
clearly.
But I just was hyped from a very long time. And knowing that Creature Commando was the first one that was coming out in this series, I love the idea of an outcast. I also, and like, seeing the show, and especially hearing Dr. Matt Seartsky talk about like, I'm not good enough for one, I'm not good. That's for me, that's because I'm the perfect blend of both of y'all. Like nobody knows what I am. I understand that like I'm not Black enough for the Blacks, I'm not Spanish enough for the Hispanics, because I don't know, like I get that, so I get those feelings. So there are moments in here that I really resonated with, but overall, for me, the show was kind of like mid-level. Like it was a fun show.
Setup.
Yeah, it was setup. I don't think
a decent setup. I like that they used Themyscira and used what's her name to come in, and that's your villain and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, and I enjoy that.
I don't know why it's Cersei. What is that?
Like, how funny is it? Like, think about this, Jasmine. Right? Think of like one of the biggest cosplayers, female out there, right? Like, let's take you, right? Because I know your DMs and I know the comments you get and stuff like that, right? Think of that. This could be you. This is what she does, right? She's just taking thirsty men and making the redneck army.
But that's a real thing in the comics. The Sons of Themyscira.
Yeah. But I think it's terrible.
But I OnlyFans.
I have no army, so let me go get some dumb rednecks to be my army.
Great, especially going into, because this show goes until January 2nd. It's like right before the world changes for the next 4 years, winky face. So it's so interesting that Jordan, just say it. The amount of times I'm gonna have to cut to your face for the reactions. Jesus. But like the Sons of Themyscira, I promise you, at the next Comic-Con, there's going to be a bunch of MAGA hat wearing Son of Themyscira cosplayers running around. I mark my words. Like,
so who's gonna be the Cersei dressed up, commanding them around? That's gonna be the
what sucks is like it brings such a negative image to the cosplaying world because they're cosplayers and they can just say that they're cosplayers. You know, and you're not wrong. Like, but there are certain people who shouldn't be cosplaying Deadpool because they use it as an excuse to be overly sexual to people, especially Spider-Man cosplayers. There are just certain people who don't take the responsibility of cosplay accomes
and with great power. No, that's wrong franchise. Sorry.
No,
but when it comes to for me, because I feel you on like the beginning of this. And what people got to understand is saying something is mid-level or it's just okay is fine. Like it doesn't make something bad.
It was 25 minutes each.
Right. Like we have less than an hour of this show, but I think and by the end it could change, but I think we also need to be okay with a show just existing. Like it doesn't have to be this grand gesture of things.
I only have Koi's examples because he's obviously in YouTube deeper than me, so he's got more people who react to his reactions. It's interesting that you say that it's okay for a show to be okay. His feelings towards Agatha, he was like, it's fine show. It's clearly not for me. You know, it's for the girls, the gays, and the days, and that's just fine. But I just, he's critiquing it from the male heavy Boston male perspective, and that show just wasn't for him. Meanwhile, he's giving these critiques, and people are in the comments, you're homophobic, you're like literally flooding him with your opinion means that you are X, Y, and Z, and he's like, what?
This is to bring nuance back, because that's a lack of nuance entirely.
Which he explained, and then by the end of it, him like in his, I think the title of his video is Agatha stuck the landing or something like that. So by the end of it, he really enjoyed it. He really thrived on the ending, but it took him the entire journey, and I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Nobody came back around to comment that to him.
No, they did. No one came back around to be like, you homophobic, racist piece of shit. Like, no, they stuck with, oh, see, you just had to get to the end. And he's like, but the fact that I had to get to the end of a show.
This is pineapple on pizza argument to me. This is like, I cannot like something and like something, but we both can like whatever. And we're still as long as we're not like harmful or hateful, what does it matter? That's my argument about the show, right? I know Gunn's going to crush it, but I just got 25 minutes, 2 episodes each, or 25 minutes each, 2 episodes. I'm not going to sit here and be like, we're back. Guys, we're back. Oh my God, DC's back. We're not doing that.
But you know
like we never left.
You know there's going to be someone being like,
nope, no audio. You're screaming. Look at that.
Did you unplug your mic?
Cannot take you anywhere. Yes. Yep.
There's no way she unplugged her mic.
Wow. All right, everybody. Just want to let everybody know. Thanks to Jasmine.
Hello. Guys, this is a new mic. I don't know how to use it.
It's a Blue Yeti, actually. It's fantastic.
I like it. I
have 3 of them.
That is so funny. I really want to know what you said. Yeah, like the audience is just like,
we all know the one person, obviously, but
stop it.
But we do.
And I'm not faulting that person. I'm not
back every time.
I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it being excited about what you're being excited about, right? Loving things. Like there's some people who like lose their mind.
Excited about Nazis. Go be yourself.
No, that's not that. But like there's some people who are excited about 379 pages of a book coming out of some romance fairy novel thing, and it's cool, but that's not my thing, right?
It's Onyx Storm, and I'm very excited. Okay,
there you go. Knew it.
So going into the book talk realm, that's kind of even going back to why I even asked that question. Where you like, maybe I'm crazy. I was feeling book talky vibes with Princess Ilana and Rick Flag Sr. from when like
I don't want to know how you guys feel, because I again like from the woman's perspective, this man had said no multiple times, and we're getting close to the end of this because we've been talking for like 30 minutes. Y'all give me so much to edit. But I'm in the book talk world, we really care about like the best kind of love interest is someone who has a morally great character but still respects you. You. He may go and stab everybody else. It's that idea of like the superhero saved the world and sacrificed you, but I would burn the world down just to save you. Like it's the difference between, it's that.
Yeah.
But to see Rick Flag Sr., who still is grieving his son, going on his very first mission with a very angsty team, like he just wants to go back to work, especially given that speech that he says that I only joined the military to make money. My son joined the military because he believed in America. He believed in what he was doing. And I think he's trying to honor his son's legacy by doing this task force or whatever. But to have this princess, after he said no multiple times, still throw herself on him. Like, I want to know from you guys, again, you're both married men. What is your reaction? Because
I could have a princess coming at me repeatedly. Hey, listen, where'd you get the scar from? And like, think about it this way, Jasmine, right? Jordan will agree with me. It's the tone. It's the tone.
Shut the fuck up.
He didn't say no and then walk away. No, I can't. No.
That's not okay, Adam. You need to stop. That's not okay.
I said him. I didn't say anything. He did it.
He's
right? Like, no.
I get it, but he said no. He said no.
Yeah.
Jasmine, that man has missed his wife how long? He's lost his son 2 years ago. This man is desperate for any kind of feeling other than just mission. Okay, and that happens. He's like, no, I can't.
But
God,
Adam,
man.
look me dead in the eye and say that Ileana is not the villain of this show. Look me dead in the eye and say that she's not working with Cersei. That she's not working with Cersei for some nefarious purposes.
She is.
Oh yeah, I was feeling that too because she kind of keeps throwing those little tidbits of
Bride
like
knows it.
I want to bring modernness and they want me to be this certain way for like Queen. I'm like,
By the way,
it seems like
her mother's like, she can't understand anything she says. That woman is dead. That is a dead corpse. That I'm pretty sure they use Frankenstein's castle because it's too close to keep her alive, and that is just a dead corpse. That woman has been dead forever.
Well, Bride knows it. I mean, you saw that. Also, can we agree the princess?
Jordan's like, his mind is blown.
That's Zelda.
it is.
That's Zelda. They drew her as Zelda.
True.
She just
True.
needs a little.
By the way, voice actress for Princess Alana is also the voice actress for Cosmo. James Gunn yet again pulling, he pulls his favorites, which we got to stop being mad at him for doing that. Christopher Nolan does the same thing.
I guess, but like I every time I watch Sean Gunn and James Gunn in a movie together, I'm like, are they brothers? And then I have to, I know it. I know that they are brothers, but for some reason it always trips me. He's playing two roles. Sean Gunn is playing two roles. He's playing both the robot and Weasel, which is
Weasel's my favorite.
I mean, it's just squirrels. It's just squirrels.
Weasel's just he doesn't know what's going on. He's just peeing on stuff and biting people.
So just to wrap all of this up, who are you most excited for to see there? Because now I'm like, all the backstories are changing. So given the rest of the players, who are you most excited for to see their backstories in the following episodes? Just silence. Nobody.
I would say the most excited I want to see is probably Dr. Phosphorus. We see him kind of like before he goes to try and steal the remote, like he's kind of sitting off to himself. He's like looking at his hands. He's kind of just feeling like, man, I can't do this. Like, why am I living like this? So I definitely am interested to hear, like, is he like devastated at how he landed here with like, turning into this, fire monster? Is he really that bad guy, or is he kind of like a peacemaker where like when it comes down to it, like he's going to want to do the right thing? He just seems like he's doing a little bit of wrestling, just at least from what I was seeing.
When it came down to it, Peacemaker killed Rick Flag. What do you say?
That's also true.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if that should be your hero, baby. But
which, by the way, is Rick Flag Sr. I feel like I guess Waller must be lying about that because like she's still using Peacemaker. They mentioned the daughter outing her, so that does mean that Peacemaker is also canon to this too. So
well, remember, James has already said whatever he does animated, those people are the live action actors who will play them in anything they do. So how do we not know that those two don't see each other at some point in season 3 of Peacemaker? You killed my son. Well, he tried to kill me.
Yeah. Peace. It's gonna happen.
Oh, it has to.
And then they both turn on Waller because it was Waller's orders.
No, not
Waller
at that point. I don't know. I guess kind of like I guess Peacemaker knew he had a role to play, but Peacemaker had the choice. Yes, Waller, because everyone else, Harley, all of the other people, they turned away. They went, and did their own thing. Peacemaker was the only one who chose to continue. So I can't blame Waller for that because everyone turned their backs on Waller and did their own thing.
But John Cena redeemed himself because he can sing. He sang in Peacemaker.
Bride,
Adam, you excited?
Bride, 100% Bride. I think her story is really good.
We saw Bride's backstory though.
I got it, but we didn't. We saw that, but I want to see where she goes from there to something, because obviously she's trying to hold on to something. Maybe she learns from it. Maybe something else. Frank's a idiot, whatever. But I like hers. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
From Frank.
Frankie.
Because most douchebags are named Frank. So Bride and God, who can Weasel. I want to see a backstory on Weasel.
Did he really eat those 27 children?
I want to know what happened.
I don't think so. I don't think he actually ate those 27 children. I think because we've been talking about that so often, I don't think he actually did that. That's crazy. The one person I want to know about is Dr. Metsursky, because from the trailer, like the backstory that I know from the comics is that she helped create a lot of these monsters that exist in the DC world, but she did that as an adult. And then her whole premise was, I would never do to someone that I wouldn't do to myself. And she gave herself the gills and like that. But in this comic, and especially watching in the trailers, she was a fish girl like in school. I saw her like holding books and she got slammed up against. She's been dealing with that prejudice since she was young. So I'm curious when that transfer, if it was like a parent that did that to her, or if it just, because that's such a deep thing that you know, the idea that I've been transforming other people and I would never do to someone else what I would do, or I would never do to someone else what I wouldn't do to me, you know? But to take that backstory away, you have to put something else in it.
I'm wondering if she was at it as like a child, what if they take the backstory and give it to her parent and her parent did it to her? Maybe.
But like forcing
it's not the same though.
I think it's going to be a childhood trauma thing. Like that's where we go with that.
Is that as substantial though?
No. I mean,
yeah, because then it's like she's just in jail because somebody did this to her. It's like,
that's not fair. Like that might be where her sincerity comes from. It's just like, this sucks.
If you think about it, they've already taken that story. It's the Frankenstein bride story. That's really what they're doing. They're not going to do two of the same kind of things. They want to change it so there's multiple different angles. So making her a fish child and having her grow up being bullied and all that stuff and everything, like, yes, I agree with Jordan. Somewhere, somehow, something had to happen. Like, you know, how did she become, right? How'd she go from tadpole to crime fighter? Like, what did we do?
Is she really crime fighter? She was walking around and then got shot in the head and then was out. Like,
Look,
is she?
She's out there fighting the high price right now. Okay.
She hit that go fuck yourself. I was like, that's the most assertive you've been.
I mean, at that point, she can't breathe. She's dying. She is dying.
Water right there.
Just struggling. Anyway, this is 1 and 2. I'm excited. So I will see you guys back Thursday. Hopefully, we'll see. We can close to Christmas though. For the next breakdown. Any last thoughts you want to leave people with?
Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos seems like it's just going to be a fun little time. I'm very much not taking it too serious. It doesn't seem like it's meant to be taken too serious.
No, it's like it's a.
And now I gotta go look at Dr. Matsursky third. I'm just kidding.
Both of you, yeah. Make sure you in incognito mode. Adam, any lasting thoughts?
DC's back, guys. We're back. Oh my god, this is gonna be fantastic.
All right, y'all. Until next time, hasta pasta.